Ready or Not proves that PvE is still king and needs to be revisited. Welcome up to a new video on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be talking about Ready or Not and really PvE in general, and how I think games have kind of moved away from it, and why I think games really need to come back and look at PvE and look at why it's really cool. Now, you know, Ready or Not is a game that, it's probably gone under the radar for a lot of people. There probably isn't as many people playing it as really there should be, which is a shame because it's such a fantastic game. It doesn't care about season passes or overpriced skins or drip-fed live service content. It's a game that focuses on the tight mechanics, rewarding gameplay, and an atmosphere that pulls you in without needing to bribe you to stay. Now, as you're seeing in the background here, obviously, I haven't really played it since the new update, so I'm getting back into it. There's been a commander mode added, a quick play mode. The game constantly gets updates, and it constantly keeps giving us free content. It's not the kind of game that goes, well, here's your game, but if you want it updated or you want some more cool stuff, you're gonna have to pay for it. Here's a free update. Go and enjoy it. When we get into the mission, I didn't even notice that, but there's helmet cams in the game. So while you're walking around, you can have your teammate's helmet cam in the top right corner. How awesome is that? The game is not just a tactical shooter that forces your hand to be very nitty and gritty. It was made by people that actually love playing games. It's an experience that reminds us very clearly that PvE is not dead. It just got buried under too many neon skins and FOMO countdown timers. And that's what's wrong with gaming, realistically. PvE isn't dead, it's just being ignored. That player versus environment used to be the standard. Before multiplayer lobbies, microtransactions, and Twitch-friendly chaos, PvE was how we played games. Games like SWAT 4, Rainbow Six, and even Half-Life. Those were the gold standards. Ready or Not doesn't just bring that feeling back, it evolves it. Now, in Ready or Not, the enemy AI isn't just some dummy waiting to be shot. They're smart, unpredictable. They'll fake surrender. They'll shoot through doors. They'll flank you. Sometimes they just panic and they put the weapons down, and you think, what's going on here? It feels like you're dealing with actual humans and not just bots. And because of that, every mission feels like a new challenge. You can see here we're going to a gas station and pushing towards into the gas station. And, I don't really want to go through the front door because there's going to be enemies through the front door. So I'm wondering if there's another entrance I can take. It learns from Rainbow Six, which I featured a while ago, and it expands on that and grows on that. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's effective, it's tense. And the tension, the sense of anything could go on at any second, is something that's just gone from a lot of modern shooters. They're more caring about, look at Call of Duty at the moment. They've just announced Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty on multiplayer. Call of Duty used to be nitty gritty, horrible, warfare, World at War, Black Ops, and it's just gone from that. And I feel that's what modern games are lacking. They're more interested in, trying to be silly and over the top. And, I don't want that. And I'm sure a lot of FPS shooters don't want that. They want that nitty gritty back. And hopefully, seeing the success of Ready or Not, 6 Days in Fallujah, which I've played on the channel and live stream, hopefully they can make a comeback. I was going to talk about Warhammer Space Marine 2, but I thought, let's talk about Ready or Not, something that's not quite got the light. I'll do another video on Warhammer Space Marine 2 in a future episode. It respects the player, this game does, because Ready or Not respects your time, your intelligence, and your money. There's no battle pass, no item shop with tactical cat's ears, no pressure to log in every day to get some pixel currency. It just gives you a gun, a mission, and says, go and make it happen. And somehow that's become rare. The game trusts you to care about the mission, not the grind. And you know what? That's liberating. It doesn't just hold your hand. It doesn't just spoon feed your wins. You'll breach a door and get dropped in seconds. You'll arrest a suspect and get blindsided by someone hiding behind the vending machine. And when that happens, you won't rage quit. You'll reload because the core gameplay loop is so good, so satisfying that even losing feels part of the fun. You're not grinding for a dopamine hit. You're unlocking a new scope because some XP. You're not unlocking a new scope because an XP bar is filled up. You're improving because you're getting better. That's gameplay design that respects a player, not a spreadsheet and not some corporate higher up. As I mentioned, this game just constantly keeps getting updates, and it's brilliant and so much fun to see how this game is evolving. It proves that, even the smaller studios can do better than AAA developers can recently at the moment. And obviously, I mentioned they're losing is part of the fun. One of the most beautiful things about Ready or Not is not how it makes you feel like, failure is over. It makes it feel meaningful, not frustrating. When you die in Ready or Not, it's usually not because of lag or someone abusing a cheap tactic or, because they've paid to win. It's because you've messed up. You didn't clear a corner. You didn't check that trap. You pushed too fast. And because of that, you learn something every single time you lose. And that creates a powerful loop. You fail, you adapt, you improve, you try again. Not because of a progress bar told you to, because you wanted to. And if you're playing co-op with friends, that shared chaos of failure becomes part of the fun. You'll laugh, you'll yell, you'll have those, holy crap, did you see that moment? And those are memories that last. That's what made old school Call of Duty so much fun. That's why games need to be focusing on just being fun again. That's why you keep coming back. Not unlocks, not achievements, stories. As I mentioned here, we're doing a gas station. But, you know, next mission we might do a motel or a hotel or, you know, a store or some. Every mission is different and every way of doing it is different. And that is what makes this game fantastic. We need more games like this. Here's the bigger point. Ready or Not isn't just a good game. It's a signpost. It's showing us a path of games that need to be followed more often. Right now, it feels like most AAA studios are chasing trends. Battle Royale, extraction shooters, live grind surges, cosmetic stores that charge you $20 for a gun wrap. But Ready or Not ignores all that. Instead, it focuses on solid mechanics over shallow content, atmosphere over artificial engagement, gameplay over gimmicks. You know, even the AI here, you know, I'm telling them to do different stuff, and they're wandering off and doing their own thing. I've told them to explore. They could have literally breached the room and stood still. They didn't. They've gone on and gone, right, well, there's a couple of doors here that need to be checked as well. They've gone on and done it. You know, I mean, I'm not very good, but I'm picking a lock here and just checking this room out because there could be somebody hiding in here. But the game makes you check every single corner. It makes you feel you've got to be careful. You can't just run and gun and, you know, you're going to survive. It nails that perfectly. As I said, the atmosphere over artificial engagement, gameplay over gimmicks, and people are responding. The player base loves it. I love it. The community is passionate. Modders are adding content, and you don't see people asking for skins. They're asking for new missions, you know, more realism. Because when the gameplay is good, that's what people care about. We need more games like this. Games that understand that fun doesn't come from daily challenges or loot boxes. It comes from tension, strategy, collaboration, risk, and Ready or Not absolutely nails that on the head. So here's the takeaway. Ready or Not is proof that PvE games, when done right, are still incredibly enjoyable. It's proof that you don't need flashy cosmetics or artificial grinds to keep people engaged. All you need is well-crafted experience that respects the player and gives them a reason to come back for one more run. It's not trying to be the loudest game in the room. It's not trying to, you know, be this or that or be anything other than just a good, fun game to play. And in today's gaming landscape, it's really revolutionary. Let's hope that more studios are paying attention because honestly, we don't need more neon colours and weird skins and stuff like that. We don't want it. We need more games like Ready or Not. Thank you for listening. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for more deep diving gamings. Make sure you leave a comment to let me know your thoughts and let's aim for 25 likes on this video. And if you got this far in the video, have you played Ready or Not? I'll catch you in the next one.